You know, for thousands of years, the woolly mammoth has been this icon of the Ice Age, a symbol of extinction. But what if it could walk the Earth again? Seriously. Today, we're going to unpack the mind-blowing science, the mission, and yeah, the controversy behind one of the most audacious projects of our time. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's just get the big one out of the way, right? The question that pops into everyone's head the second they hear about this. Are we just building a real-life Jurassic Park? You know, complete with the gift shop and the inevitable chaos. It's the first place our minds go, and honestly, for good reason. And look, even the scientists leading the charge get it. They know it's the #1 comparison. This is a quote from Beth Shapiro. She's the chief science officer at Colossal Biosciences. That's the company making this happen. And she actually welcomes the comparison because it opens the door to talk about what's really going on. So let's move past the movie plot. Let's get into the actual science here, because this isn't about reviving ancient creatures for our entertainment. No, the real mission is something way more complex and potentially a whole lot more important. And this slide right here lays out the core difference perfectly. The myth, the Jurassic Park idea, is that we're making a perfect carbon copy of a mammoth that died thousands of years ago. But the reality? It's that scientists are actually editing the DNA of a modern Asian elephant to give it the key traits of a mammoth. You know, the shaggy fur, the extra layers of fat, all the stuff it needs to create a new animal that can thrive in the Arctic. The goal isn't a spectacle, it's to restore an ecosystem. To really get this, we have to understand that the whole idea of de-extinction is being redefined by this project. It's not about perfectly turning back the clock, it's about building something new, something for the future. And here's the official term from Colossal: functional de-extinction. That word right there, functional, that's the key. They aren't just trying to bring back the animal itself, but its function, its role in the ecosystem. They're engineering a proxy that's built for today's world, not just a relic of the past. So this creature is literally being designed with a purpose. It's not a museum piece. Think of it more like a bioengineered tool that's meant to perform a very specific ecological job. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, how on earth are they actually planning to build one? Right, let's get into the incredible science behind all this. It is a multi-step process that combines ancient DNA with some of the most advanced technology we have today. It's pretty wild. Now, get this. The whole reason any of this is even possible comes down to this one number. The Asian elephant is the mammoth's closest living relative, and it shares 99.6% of its DNA. It's that tiny 0.4% difference, that's where all the magic happens. And here's the game plan. First, they map out the complete DNA of both animals to see exactly what's different. Then, they pinpoint those key mammoth genes, the ones for Arctic survival. Next, using the revolutionary gene editing tool CRISPR, they literally cut and paste those mammoth genes into an elephant's DNA. And finally, that newly edited nucleus is used to create an embryo, which gets implanted into a surrogate mother, likely an African elephant just because they're bigger, for a nearly 2-year pregnancy. And listen, don't think this is some far-off sci-fi dream. Colossal has a very real timeline. They've already sequenced the elephant genome. They're shooting to have the first embryos created by late 2026, and the first calves actually walking the Earth by late 2028. I mean, this is happening now. So this brings us to the biggest question of all: why? Why spend all this money, all this brainpower to do this? Well, the answer is an incredibly ambitious plan to help fight climate change. The stakes are just immense, and they revolve around this one staggering number. The Arctic permafrost is holding an estimated 1.6 trillion tons of carbon. That's more than double what's currently in our entire atmosphere. And as the Arctic warms up, that permafrost is starting to thaw, threatening to release all of it. It is a potential climate catastrophe just waiting to happen. And this is the mammoth's job. You see, the theory is that these huge grazing animals are what you'd call ecosystem engineers. By knocking down trees, trampling the snow in winter, which lets the freezing air penetrate the soil, and, well, fertilizing the ground, they can help turn the modern mossy tundra back into the ancient carbon-grabbing grassland it used to be, the Mammoth Steppe. And that restored ecosystem could, in theory, help keep that permafrost frozen solid. But as you can probably imagine, a project this revolutionary, this world-changing, doesn't come without some serious questions and some really intense ethical debates. So let's get into the hopes and the hazards of this uncharted future. On one side, you have the visionaries at Colossal. They see this whole thing as disruptive conservation. Basically, using radical new tools to solve huge problems that traditional methods just haven't been able to fix. It's all about creating a healthier planet for everyone. But the critics raise some absolutely crucial points. I mean, will this genetic hybrid even behave like a real mammoth? Could it cause new, unforeseen problems in today's fragile Arctic ecosystems? And here's a big one. Does a moonshot project like this divert precious money and attention away from saving the thousands of species that are on the brink of extinction right now? And this quote from Professor Linda Likray just nails the heart of that concern. The real fear is that de-extinction creates a kind of moral hazard. If we start to believe we can just bring any species back from the dead, does that make us less worried about wiping them out in the first place? So, no matter where you stand on this debate, one thing has become absolutely undeniable. This isn't a sci-fi movie plot anymore. The technology is real. It's here. And that's really the bottom line. We have now created a tool with the power to fundamentally alter ecosystems and maybe even rewrite the story of life on this planet. Whether that story has a happy ending or one with consequences we can't even imagine, well, that's the chapter we are just beginning to write. And so the ultimate question isn't really just about mammoths or technology. It's about us. We now hold this incredible, almost godlike power in our hands. The real challenge now is figuring out how and if we should ever use it.